Mission is live.
You heard the man. Mission is live. Well, not really. It's pre-recorded by the one, the only Dr. Evil Genius, back with a gameplay commentary. And today the topic will be Black Market Blackout. The supply drops. More specifically, talking about the gambling aspect of said supply drops. But before we get into that, a bit about the gameplay. Obviously, we're playing on evac. Is hardcore kill confirmed? Running the key N44. The attachments: red dot sight, stock, and quick draw. I did have a grenade equipped, the thermite, weak ass piece of shit. It did not make an appearance in this game, so that was a wasted point towards my loadout. The perks: ghost, hardwire, blast suppressor, and dead silence. So a bit of a stealth build, except whenever I blast a gun. But then again, I don't need to really be quiet when I'm ending your life, now do I? Why am I using an AR? You guys normally see that I don't really use very many assault rifles, if at all, in my gameplays. I think I did a lot of MX Garand, but the real reason why I was using the MX Garand is because I didn't want to be one of these idiot assholes that can only use the Kuda, or only use the KN-44, or only use the Razorback. You see these guys, you see their combat record, and yay, I've got 50,000 kills, and 70,000 of those kills with the Razorback because I can't use any other gun. I didn't want to be one of those guys. But I've always put myself in position to be behind, to have a disadvantage when playing other players who are using the same old ARs, the same old SMGs. Well, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not putting myself in bad positions using the Marshall 16 and getting shot constantly while it takes 8 years to reload that weapon. If you can't beat them, join them. I mean, I'm not going to use the same old gun each and every time, but I will be using more effective weapons going forward for the rest of the time that I'm playing Black Ops 3. You might see some interesting gameplay with other weapons, but as a rule, I will not be trying to keep my kills even across all weapons. I will try to use maybe between 10 and 15 weapons regularly, so I don't look like a fucking noob that can't handle a weapon. Now, about these supply drops. A lot has been talked about the Black Market Blackout. I really wish there was a camping blackout. This guy sitting in a corner with a fucking shotgun. Black Market Blackout. Now, a lot of people have been talking about it on Twitter. People talking about this YouTuber White Boy 7th Street or whatever. I don't watch his videos. I don't even really know who he is, and quite frankly, everyone seems to be taking this Black Market Blackout video that he made seriously. When I watched it, it looked like a troll parody post. So a lot of people took it to be serious. A lot of people jumped onto it. It looked like bullshit to me coming out of his mouth. Not saying that what he had to say was bullshit, but his approach to it seemed more comedic or making fun of the YouTube community rather than trying to spark a movement. But that's just the way that I saw it. I can tell you that I've been participating, can I speak English? Participating in the Black Market Blackout since the day I purchased the fucking game. They give you 200 COD points when you buy the game. I don't even use those. It's all crypto keys for me. I did a video a couple of months back where I did a 1700 crypto key rare drop opening, and I got exactly nothing in it. So recently you guys also saw that I did a 600 crypto key drop, and I got 3 weapons out of it. Go fucking figure. Now, the really pressing issue was brought to my attention by a dude that I've been partying up with that I did not know was a YouTuber. His name is Wayne the Average Gamer. You will find the link to this specific video that I watched in the description, where he talks about the gambling aspect and the possible illegalities of said gambling aspect of these supply drops. And you know, he's talking about the roulette wheel in this video, and he did briefly mention the slot machine. It kind of feels like a slot machine. Well, when you watch when you spend your 200 COD points or your 30 crypto keys, it actually looks like one of those slot machines. It's very obviously gambling. You're using real money to get a chance at. It's supposed to have, you know, some chance to it. It sounds a lot like gambling to me. And the problems that I have with it is, if you look at daily fantasy, which is the first thing I thought of when I watched Wayne's video, daily fantasy. Wow, they're going through a lot of legal trouble doing something that people have been doing, fantasy sports, for 10, 15 years without a single problem. But once you add money to the mix and the expectation of you possibly winning something of value, that's when the Attorney General's office here in New York and in many other places declared it illegal. So what's the fucking difference between these supply drops and what FanDuel and what's the other one? There's FanDuel and there's DraftKings. What's the fucking difference between what those guys are doing, and that shit is looked at as illegal? What's the difference between what they're doing and what Activision is doing? And if you want to take it 2 steps further, on one hand, you have the fact that, yes, this game is supposed to be mature, 17 plus, but we all know that it's mostly kids that play this game. Now you're adding the specter of gambling to these children's lives. You're trying to induce, or you're trying to promote gambling to children, because we already know what this shit is all aimed at. If you look at all of the weapons, and you look at the skins, and you look at all this other shit, you can see that this game is aimed toward children, even though they claim that because of violence, language, and gore, and blah blah blah, that it's only for adults. Bull fucking shit. Look how I get taken out because I couldn't find any fucking ammo. I should have used scavenger. Then, if you want to look at the adults that play the game, playing on a lot of people's competitive nature and the fact that a lot of people are susceptible to gambling, and you see that there are so many movements where people are trying to help people who have gambling addictions, and then you take a video game that we've been playing for 10 years that we get used to, and you slide gambling in there on the slide tip. Now we're talking about children, you know, people who are special needs, susceptible to the problems of gambling, namely children and gambling addicts, and now you're tossing it into the game. Oh, we're just trying to make some money, right? You guys in the comments, you let me know what you think about the illegalities or the legalities or the moral issues associated with these supply drops. It's the end of the video. See you on the next one.